All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to We Want Plates. Now, I'd like to think of myself as a cultured man with a cultured appreciation for food and a cultured palate, and I appreciate presentation when it comes to meals. But sometimes it just goes a little bit too far, and that's what this subreddit is for if you haven't been here before. We'll start off with number 19. You reckon they just had gyoza-sized shopping trolley lying about already, or was it purchased specifically? That, I think, is kind of hilarious, and I wouldn't mind it. Even though it doesn't really fit with the rest of the decor. It's like the Carrera marble and wine and these crystal glasses and stuff, and then you just get a shopping cart right in the middle of the table. This would work great at more of a like low budget, slightly less fancy or more contemporary kind of place, but it doesn't really fit the mood in this sort of environment. I think it's kind of cute. And I don't know, they obviously just had this laying around, or someone saw it at a random trinket store and were like, hey, we can just put our gyoza or pot stickers right in here. It'll be great. Why not? Kebab served on a set of mini stairs. It looks like it's wood, which has paint on it, which seems like an interesting thing to serve food on to begin with. Also, though, apparently I'm like way too used to internet clickbait, because for a second I thought that they had gone through the trouble of like circling, just in case you can't see the kebabs. It's circled here. It's like thumbnail circles on YouTube. All right. And then I was like, oh, this is a double ring. Hold on, they're onions. Glad we got that out of the way. Does this count? Like performing a magic trick? Oh, that's actually kind of wild. What is that? Is that a dessert? What is it? It looks like yogurt or something, except there's chopsticks. That's not sashimi or something, is it? Because that's way too creamy looking for sashimi. Like they blended up the fish rather than just serving it on nice slices. But that's actually kind of cool. How it's like a solid chain, but it looks like it's magically floating. I don't know. But also the fact that it does look like a bottle that was sliced in half. I'd kind of be worried about cutting my hand on the edge of it. It doesn't look very smooth. Kind of looks like a hazard. I also just want to know what the dish is. I'm kind of confused. Yeah, if it weren't for the edges being so sharp and dangerous looking, like it's not even completely uniform there, is it? Oh no, the bottle probably goes in at the bottom. I see, it's not actually. Yeah, anyway, it seems a bit hazardous, but I don't know. Where the fork? It's my fork. That might be the most extreme place setting design plate sort of thing I've ever seen in my life, and I kind of want to see how they actually carry it over to you. Does the waiter carry it by the handle of the fork, and then the food is kind of just like hanging down below? Or do they carry the plate, and the thing is they just have to watch and make sure it's not taking out any of the lights on the way to your table? How heavy is it? What's it made out of? I have so many questions, but also it's just so wild that, you know, especially for a birthday celebration, some kind of special occasion, people are gonna go there just to get that, just so they can get that Instagram opportunity right there. That is a genius move on the part of the business. More places, I'm surprised they don't do that. We want the other half of the plate. Yeah, it's just actually a broken plate. Now, there are ways to execute interesting kinds of plates, and I don't particularly think this is it. It's literally just tomatoes. I mean, you know, you can do the tomatoes and the, what is it, the caprese salad or caprese? I don't know how you pronounce it. That Italian salad with tomatoes and cheese. But that's not it. It's literally just tomatoes. It seems like you get half of a dish with half of your dish, or maybe on the other half of the dish you get the cheese, and then you plug them together, and then the juice goes right into the crack between the two plates and gets all over your table. Dessert served on a plastering towel? Trowel? Plastering towels aren't the thing. Trowel. It was probably actually just a trowel that was made for being a trowel, and then it ended up in a restaurant after they were constructing it, and then was like, what am I going to do with my life? And then it decided that it was going to adopt a new life as a plate. You know, it's better than sitting in a closet unused while no renovations are taking place in the restaurant. You might as well use everything that you can. They also serve appetizers on an actual ladder. Rather than having one of those tea time things with all the little pastries on it, they just use a ladder or a step stool. Step stool is a little bit more manageable, but you order the chef's tasting menu there, you get your like 10 courses of appetizers all the way up that ladder. You know, you got to use everything you got. Lunch in Moscow today. I mean, I guess that's one way to keep the food warmer for longer rather than, throwing the pan in the sink and dealing with dishes and all that. This is a very economical way to do it. It cuts your dishes in half that you have to do at the restaurant, and it keeps your food warmer for longer. Also, it's a burning hazard, but otherwise, pretty good. Keeps your food warm for probably too long, actually. Like, I want to eat this, and it's been 20 minutes now, and I still can't. Can I get something else to put this on? That looks really good, though. What it's being served on, interesting choice. But I'm not gonna lie, that actually looks fantastic, and I want to have it really badly. Ooh, look like it's got a little salami in there, a little bit of pepper, maybe some garlic powder. Woo, cream sauce. Oh, buddy, I don't even care if it's served in I don't care what that's served in. It could be served on those wooden stairs. Be really inconvenient, but I think it tastes good. Our chips were served in a rock, not in. I was gonna make fun of the fact that you were literally served 2 chips, but then I remembered I actually recently went to a restaurant where I was basically served 2 chips for an appetizer course as well. I was like, I'm guilty of this. The meal was really good, and it was like a pre-appetizer appetizer. Sometimes when you go to like nice places, they'll list what you get on the tasting menu, but then before you even get to the first course of the tasting menu, they'll give you like things that are pre the menu, so it doesn't even eat into the actual courses, and sometimes they'll just give you a couple of chips. It's a thing. It is a thing. And that is sort of the presentation that you would expect to get with it. I've experienced this, and I didn't think much of it. It kind of goes with the experience. Like, if you're just thinking if you're just in your normal world, all right, yeah, this seems bizarre from the get-go, but when you go to a place like this, you kind of you expect weird things to happen. Do I sound like such a weirdo food elitist or something right now? I probably do. But I don't know. It's a different mentality when you're at a place like that. You expect weird stuff. This inverted umbrella was tipping all the time. Oh, so you didn't actually have to tip? It covered it for you? It was just throwing out money. It was just tipping the staff, shooting out of the umbrella. I mean, I'd deal with it if that was the idea. Here's the thing, though. In this case, what I like about unique kind of dishes is when they actually kind of relate to what's being served in some way, shape, or form. Like, sometimes you'll get these really interesting presentations, but a lot of the times a nice restaurant it'll have something to do with what's going on in the meal. In this case, I'm not getting the relation between like the chicken sticks and the umbrella. Maybe it kind of looks like an umbrella. Did I answer it myself? But it's a stretch still. Also, though, looks pretty good. I don't even care that it's an umbrella. It looks pretty tasty. Now I'm gonna be so hungry after this. Enough with the noodle river. Apparently, one person posted it and it became a thing. Maybe it was a viral video on Twitter, and everyone's like, all right, gotta post this to We Want Plates. Well, where's the noodle river? Is it gonna be up here? Or did so many people post it that what could have been a quality post now didn't make it to the top? Too many people posted it and it got ruined. My family's steak served on a horse skull. Never a dull moment in China. Seems a little unnecessary. It's directing all the juice elsewhere, which you kind of want to have you don't want it to be a dry steak. It also looks almost like a hamburger patty rather than a steak. I don't know if that's just well done or something, but it just doesn't look super steak-like. That's just impractical, though. Like, where do you cut it? It's just gonna, once you mess up the balance, it's just gonna fall to one side, and it's gonna be on the table. It's gonna flop off the plate. There's not enough room. It's like you just gotta feed the horse a little bit. Take it off the top, kind of feed it into the horse's mouth just a little bit. Came straight from the horse's mouth. And then you just cut a little bit, and then you bring it out a little bit more. It's like the horse is regurgitating your steak into you. Burger in a drawer. I don't know, that doesn't seem too weird to me. It seems like it gets the job done. It does. The only thing that would be questionable is, when you drip burger juice into the sides, which I assume they're sealed, but it just seems like it'd get really messy on the wood, and they'd have to replace these pretty regularly. But otherwise, I don't know. It's like, think about a bento box for Japanese food. It doesn't have the handle on it, but it's kind of a similar thing. It's a box. BuzzFeed is so original. 19 restaurants who went way, way too far. You'll never believe. Number 6. they actually throw your food really far and you have to catch it in your mouth. That's why they literally went too far. Hey man, apparently the pot stickers in the shopping cart is like a common thing. All right, or maybe it's the same restaurant. Actually, it looks like it must be the same one. It has the Carrera marble countertop. I guess that's it. Yep, there we go. Pitcher of poutine being offered in Montreal. It probably tastes good. I've never tried poutine, actually. I know it's like a very Canadian specific kind of dish. It would probably taste great if you ate that with a fork instead of with your hands. Normally you eat fries or chips, whatever you want to call it, with your hands. But I do get these garlic parm fries at this burger place near me. Oh, it's so good, and I do eat those with a fork. Maybe that's a crime, but they're really messy, and it's just with a fork I can get multiple at once. They're kind of small, and it's just, oh, the garlic parm fries are so good. Oh my God. I can only imagine the calorie count of that pitcher right there. That'd be like a Matt Stoney video, right? That's like a 5,000 calorie pitcher probably. Sunday dinner on a cake stand. Oh, for a second I was like, is that Neapolitan ice cream? I'm so confused. No, that is just chicken and other chicken? Chicken and other chicken, yep. I don't know what's on top there, but as a restaurant, why would you want to do that? It just seems like really messy. Like every time that someone orders this particular meal, the server is like, God damn it. They don't realize how big of a mess this is going to be, but also I can't be like, are you sure you want to order this? It's a really big mess, because they'll be like, well, why do you offer it if you're going to double check if I really want it every time I order it? It's just, they must sigh internally or externally. And then the patrons are like, wait, is something wrong? No. It's been a long day. I'm so sorry. Everything's totally fine. It's nothing to do with what you just ordered at all. Just doesn't look very appetizing. It doesn't look like anything was done other than to hopefully ensure that the food is edible, but it's like there's nothing unique. It's just, it was removed from the bag from the grocery store, and then here it is, along with the gravy. This is the most awful thing ever. Broccoli impaled on a metal thing. It's like some kind of weird, creepy tree. You could Photoshop this into some horror movie scene. I don't know why it does remind me of severed heads or something as I get demonetized now on this video. I can see where the creative thing came into play here. It's like, oh, it's a tree of broccoli, which looks like a tree itself. But then it just looks weird. I don't know why it looks so weird, but it just looks weird. It's something that you had to actually do in order to realize that it wasn't something you should do. You should have stopped it there. Literally 6 nachos for the whole table. It is interesting that it came with like that amount of sauce. Yeah, this seems like something you would actually order as a course rather than it being like the pre-appetizer, the appetizer for the appetizers on a chef's tasting menu. In that case, they wouldn't give you all the sauce. So the chip would be prepared as it's meant to be enjoyed. There would be no additional, do you want this option, this option? Nope, it would just be like the chip in the rocks. All right, like a rock chip. You don't want that. That's why you do a clear broth. You can basically just soak that thing, marinate it, get all the sauce. Would you like a bit of chip with that sauce? That's what you need to do there. I watched my fries drift away because someone else wanted fried zucchini. I don't know, that actually looks kind of cool. I ain't even mad about that. I wanted this to be like some fried, battered, a donut hole or something like that. Oh, with some powdered sugar. Ugh. It sounds so good. And that looks exactly like what it should be served in. And it's all fried though. Everything here is fried. I just don't know if that's a dessert. What if this is all the courses for your meal, you know? You get to start with an appetizer, and then you spin the wheel a little bit more. You get the next fried thing, and then you get the next fried goodness, and then you split it with whoever's with you, and then you get the fried donut holes, and you just spun through. Oh my God, that sounds delicious. And I'm not even mad because it sounds so good. And it's so space efficient, you know? You have the rest of the table to actually deal with the food. And that's such a problem when you get a bunch of dishes for your table. You have no real estate to actually eat the thing, especially if it's shareables. You're like, where do I put my plate? I have no room. In this case, we go vertical. It's like New York City, but for food. And this is amazing. This is so good. Cheese foam that is spooned onto the back of your hand by the waiter, and then you have to lick it off. Also, if you're wearing a watch, that just seems like, I don't want the food on my watch, thanks. Also with the leather strap. I'm good. We have utensils here, you know? It's what differentiates us from the wild animals out there is we have the option to use silverware if we want to. And you might be judged in some cases, like with hamburgers and pizza, but at least that's fairly clean. But why? This is not a surface for food. This is a surface for perfume samples. I don't know why that's the first thing that possibly came into my mind for what you would use the back of your hand for, but I know me just going shopping for perfume on a regular basis. That's my pastime. That's what I do. Also, how do we know this wasn't fake, though? Maybe someone just scooped some stuff onto the hair and was like, here, we'll sprinkle a little bit of flakes on top and we'll get some sweet karma on We Want Plates. No restaurant would ever actually do this, but we can make it look like they did. Haha. But no one would go on the internet and tell lies. It would never happen. Okay. Anyway, that's it for the last month of We Want Plates. I hope you've enjoyed. Make sure to like if you like. Check out the playlist in the description that doesn't exist yet, but if you're watching this in the future, it might. If you want more of these videos, subscribe if you're not already. And if you want to listen to the music in the background, link is in the outro over on Merry Music. I'll see you next time.